Have you ever wondered what sets Harvard students apart from everyone else? Is it their exceptional aptitude for learning? Is it a hard work ethic? Well, today we're going to dive into the practice of fear setting, a way to eliminate your fears and place you at the top of your league, no matter what position you're in. I am an old man and have known a great many troubles, but most of them never happened. Mark Twain. The first step to fear setting is to define your worst nightmare. Whatever it is that you're scared of, think of all the what ifs, everything that could possibly go wrong, list them out in a journal or a notepad, anything where you can write. This could be digital or analog where you actually physically write it down. Once you have this, scale it from 1 to 10 and on how scary that would be, and also note how permanent this would be and what the effects of the nightmare would be. So for example, if you're afraid of taking a risk and one of the consequences could be losing your job, and that's like the worst possible scenario, write that down. Write down everything that comes to your mind. Also, think about the probability of these consequences happening. Now, for step 2, think about how you could repair the damage. So once the consequences happened, what actions would you have to go through to get yourself back to where you were or better than where you were? Now, most likely this is easier than it seems. Once you got that all written down, you can move on to step 3. Now, number 3. What are the outcomes or benefits, both temporary and permanent, of the more probable scenarios? Now that you define the nightmare, what are the more positive outcomes if you were to take this risk or to face your fear? What would the impact of these outcomes have in your life from a scale of 1 through 10? And how likely is it that you could produce a good outcome? And have less intelligent or people who have had a lower qualification than you done this before and experienced the good outcomes? Once you've answered all these, you're on your way to move on to the 4th one.
What comes after 1? 2. What comes after 2? 3. What comes after 3? 5.
Step number 4. What are you putting off because of fear? Usually, what you fear most is what you need to do most. So what are you putting off? Is it a conversation, a phone call, whatever the action might be? The fear of unknown outcomes can prevent you from taking that risk. And it might not be a risk, even though it might seem like that in your head. So define your worst cases, accept it, and do it. And so just figure out what you're fearing and what that's holding you back from doing. And try at least once a day to do one of those tasks that you dreadfully fear. Number 5. What is it costing you financially, emotionally, and physically to postpone this action? It is very important to measure the cost of inaction. And if you don't pursue the things that excite you, where will you be in the future, 1, 5, or 10 years away? Because if you know for 100% certainty that 10 years in the future you will be on a path of regret and disappointment, it might be worth you a little bit more to take that risk and to face your fear. Just saying. So once you figured this out, you are now ready to move on. Now, step 6. What are you waiting for? If you cannot answer this without saying, I'm waiting for good timing or anything related to that, then you're just afraid like the rest of the world is. And so balance it out. Measure the cost of inaction, realize the unlikelihood and repairability of most of the missteps or bad outcomes that could possibly happen, and develop the most important habit of those who excel and enjoy doing so. Take action. Thank you for watching, and this has been a video that is adapted from the methods taught in the 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. If you want to check that out, I have links for the book in my description. It is a great book. I highly recommend checking it out. And then along with that, I would also like to mention that tim.blog is a great source for really great, profound ideas to keep your mind spinning. tim.blog, it'll also be in my description. Thank you for watching, and I highly advise you